Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to the Manifest and Chill podcast. I'm Tracy Ftacek, and today we're talking about something that might make the productivity gurus lose their mind. And it's about some permission to rest, permission to slow down, and permission to be human. You know that feeling when everyone around you is talking about finishing strong and crushing Q4 and you're over here like, oh my God, can I just breathe for a minute? Well, today I'm sharing a story about the moment I literally hid in my garage to escape my own success and what that taught me about the difference between surviving your business and actually thriving in it. So, grab your coziest sweater and settle in. Grab your journal and pen because we're about to talk about why the most successful thing you can do this December might be to do less, and why your brain is literally shrinking when you hustle through the holidays. So let's go back a little bit. When I was in my full entrepreneurial, toxic, busy phase, I found myself staring at the wall in my garage for 30 minutes. I can still smell the mix of motor oil and storage boxes. There I was wearing my branded t-shirt from my tech company, pretty convenient, because nothing says I'm crushing it like hiding from your family in a garage. Am I right? I could hear my family on the other side of the door, and I just couldn't. I wasn't ready to walk through that door and be the woman who had all the answers again. You know, the one who never stops grinding and tells herself, I'll just sleep when I'm done. So I stood there staring at a random spider web on the wall because it was the first moment all day my brain didn't have to optimize, strategize, or maximize anything. Oh, yes, right? The glamorous entrepreneur life we all signed up for. And that garage wall moment, that was my brain's way of saying, hey, genius, maybe hiding from your life isn't the productivity hack you think it is. So today I'm sharing what that moment taught me about success, rest, and why the entrepreneurs who last are not the ones grinding the hardest. They're the ones making the smartest long-term moves. So let me tell you what all those rise and grind Instagram posts forgot to mention. Studies show that chronic cortisol from constant stress literally shrinks your prefrontal cortex. Yeah, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, creative thinking, and strategic planning. That's the part of the brain that, if we think back to basic science class, that's the last part of the brain to fully grow and mature, which is why teenagers and early 20-somethings always make the craziest decisions, the most dangerous decisions, because that part of the brain is not fully developed. However, as you know, all the things that built your success in the first place, the minor details, really. While you're busy finishing strong and crushing Q4, because apparently quarters are something we're supposed to crush now, your brain is getting smaller. Your creativity is dimming, and your judgment, my friend, it's getting fuzzier. But don't worry. At least your LinkedIn posts about no days off are getting engagement, right? 6 years later, from that very garage moment, I can tell you exactly what I learned from that peak entrepreneurial glamour side of standing in my garage. The business world has sold us a lie wrapped up in motivational quotes and branded coffee mugs. Sleep is for the weak, except for when your brain literally can't function anymore. Delegate Well, you're just lazy when you do that. Except when you're too burned out to delegate properly anyway. Rest when you're dead. Except you'll be dead a whole lot sooner if you never rest. And that spider web I was staring at, it became my teacher. Because you know what spiders do? They build their web and then they wait. They don't frantically run around the web all day, making it more optimized. They trust the structure they built. They rest. And when opportunity comes, they're ready. But me, I was running around my business web so frantically that I couldn't even see when opportunities were right in front of me. I was so busy being busy that I forgot how to be strategic. So busy optimizing that I forgot how to create. So busy grinding that I forgot how to receive. And guess what happens when you stop flooding your nervous system with cortisol from trying to control every detail? Something miraculous actually occurs. Your creativity returns, your decision-making sharpens, and your strategic thinking improves. Which turns out, rest isn't the enemy of success. Exhaustion is. But here's where it gets really interesting and where the hustle harder crowd loses their minds whenever I say this in front of them. Your best business decisions do not come from grinding through spreadsheets at 2 a.m. They come from tapping into your intuition. While everyone else is burning out trying to optimize Q4, I'm over here teaching women how to use meditation and intention setting to plan their 2026 Q3. Yep, you heard that right. Myself and the women I coach are already strategizing for the next year while everyone else is still frantically trying to salvage this quarter. Here's the secret sauce that the productivity bros would roll their eyes at. Before I make any major strategic decision, I meditate on my intentions. I get quiet. I tune into what my intuition is telling me about the long game. And guess what? Those woo-woo decisions consistently outperform the ones I used to make, hopped up on caffeine and cortisol. When you're not in constant fight or flight mode, you can actually see the bigger picture. You make decisions based on vision instead of panic. You choose opportunities that align with where you're going, not just what feels urgent right now. The entrepreneurs who last are not the ones grinding the hardest. They're the ones making the smartest long-term moves. And those moves, they come from a rested brain, not an exhausted one. They come from feminine intuition, not masculine force. They come from strategic slowdown, not frantic speed. So here's what I want you to do this week. And I'm calling it the radical act of being normal. Pick one thing on your endless to-do list. Delegate it imperfectly or let it go completely. I'm going to say that again. Delegate it imperfectly or let it go completely. I know. What would the productivity gurus say? What about your personal brand of being the woman who does it all? What if people discover your, oh my God, gasp, human? So here's the twist on that. That thing you're terrified won't get done exactly your way. The world's going to keep spinning. Maybe it's letting your assistant book travel, even if they choose, oh my God, a middle seat. Maybe it's having someone else handle client follow-ups, even if they use best regards instead of your signature, be bold, be beautiful. Maybe it's skipping that networking event you should attend, even if you miss the chance to collect business cards, which, by the way, you'll never use. Maybe it's letting your partner handle the holiday shopping, even if they buy wrapping paper that doesn't match your aesthetic. Here's what will actually help and happen when you release that death grip on control. You create space for something better. Clarity about what actually matters. Instead of reacting to every urgent email, you'll have the mental bandwidth to ask, does this align with my 2026 vision? Instead of saying yes to every opportunity out of fear, you'll have the intuitive clarity to choose the ones that actually move you forward. You won't lose your edge. You'll find this strategy everyone else is too frazzled to see. You won't become less successful. You'll become more strategic. You won't fall behind. I promise you'll leap ahead because everyone else is burning out in December. You'll be gearing up for a January that starts with the inspiration instead of desperate exhaustion. Right now, before your inner productivity coach starts screaming about missed opportunities and competitive advantage, I want you to pick your one thing. What's one task you're going to delegate imperfectly or release completely this week? Because here's what I learned staring at that spider web in my garage. The woman hiding from her family isn't living the dream. She's surviving the nightmare we've been told is success. You built something beautiful. Now stop treating it like it's made of glass. Stop acting like if you're not controlling every detail, it's all going to fall apart. Stop believing that rest is the enemy of success when exhaustion is what's actually killing your creativity. And I know, if you're thinking, but Tracy, I can't possibly delegate because no one does it like me. Congratulations. You've successfully internalized every toxic productivity message that's ever been created in the world. The cure is to start with one small thing and watch the world not end. Then maybe try meditating on your intentions before your next big decision. Revolutionary concepts, I know. But here's the thing. Those revolutionary concepts, they're the reason I can work fewer hours while making more money. They're the reasons I can take 2-hour facials on a Wednesday while my business runs smoothly. They're the reason I never have to hide in my garage anymore because I learned that success isn't about how much you can handle. It's about how strategically you can choose what deserves your energy. So here's the sacred slowdown I want you to try this week. Pick your one thing and move quickly. Delegate it, release it, stop controlling it. And then send me a DM and tell me, this week I'm delegating and or releasing, and then whatever that is, and I refuse to feel guilty about choosing my sanity over my to-do list. I cannot wait for my messages to get flooded because I want to celebrate those micro moments with you. Every time you choose rest over grind, you're choosing strategy over survival. Every time you choose intention over information overload, you're choosing wisdom over exhaustion. Every time you choose to be human instead of a productivity machine, you're choosing success over burnout. Next week, we're going to be talking about the year-end review that actually matters, about celebrating imperfect progress over perfect achievements, But for now, I'm going to ask you, my friend, give yourself permission to slow down. Your creativity needs more rest than your to-do list needs completion. Your intuition needs space more than your calendar needs optimization. Your success needs strategy more than your ego needs grinding. I'll talk to you next week. Have a beautiful first week of December. If this episode gave you permission to stop hiding in your own garage, literal or metaphorical, I want to hear from you. Send me a message and tell me what you're releasing this week. In the notes of the show, you can DM me through Instagram, we can follow each other, or you can message me directly. And remember, the most successful entrepreneurs are not the ones most exhausted. They're the most strategic ones. So until next time, honor your rhythm like the wise woman you are. XO, Tracy.